we're going to incorporate. Hi, this is Scott Jordan, and you are watching live here at Cellars of Sonoma in beautiful Railroad Square, Santa Rosa, California. And welcome everybody to TV Tuesday Live. This is the show where we taste wine, we talk about wine, and today I've got my wine geek friend, Dave Batt, we're teasing him, here to help us with wine knowledge. And today, what we're going to do is we're going to introduce a new menu that we created. Go ahead and throw that slide up, Karina. The menu, the tasting menu now has changed. When you come into the tasting room, we are now representing all 9 wineries in one tasting.
That's great. 9
wines, and everybody gets a chance to taste through and find their favorite wine. Tasting flights are $15. It includes all 9 wines for about a half an ounce each, so it's we're not going to kill you right out of the gate, but we got some cool wines in here. And so this week we're going to do the first half of the tasting menu, and then next week we'll do the second half.
Perfect.
But there's some really neat wines in here, and so let's start right at the top, because you always start with sparkling wine, and so we did this purposely to start with sparkling, and nothing better than a 2010 sparkling Brut from Amorosa Bella. This wine is 75% Chardonnay, 25% Pinot Noir. We sourced some of that fruit from the Guy Davis, so it's some really nice fruit. And yeah.
Got some nice toast.
Yep.
You got a little
Yeah.
toast. You got
A little toast.
It's almost like fresh bread, actually.
That's right. And quite versatile. I mean, we talk about this, you don't have to have a celebration. You can really enjoy this with the beginning of your meal, the way to really work that palate,
Kind of sets the mood.
Yeah, doesn't it? Get your girlfriend in the mood. Yeah. Because women always love sparkling wine, so but I like it as well. I don't necessarily, now you can dress it up. We've talked about this before. You can dress it up with certainly with a little orange juice, or I don't mind it too much with a little cranberry, or what's that stuff that you Chambord is kind of cool too. So that's
just drop a strawberry. Just just something that looks.
Yeah, a little strawberry.
Just for appearances and
for looks.
It just works great.
Yeah.
What do I say when you pop a cork of champagne or sparkling wine?
Well, whenever you pop the cork, Nita yells out something.
Mating call.
Mating call. Okay. So treat yourself correctly. So when you come into the tasting room and you do the flight tasting, we're gonna wake your palate up and get rid of all the bad things like gum. Do not have gum. I can't tell you how many people come in with gum in their mouth. It's crazy.
They forget.
Yeah. Well, we remind them right away. Well, yeah. One of these tables has a big old one. I can't get it up. Anyway, yeah. You want to use this as a palate cleanser. Retail on this is $30, $25.50 if you're a Cellar Club member. All Russian River fruit.
Nice.
Yeah. Nice, crisp, fun. Yeah. Wake you right up, get you going,
Good.
move you in the right direction.
Nice solid acid.
Yeah, and you can put think cheeses with the sparkling. If you're gonna watch a movie, go ahead and open up the sparkling, and it'll go with your popcorn like big time because
Nice.
of the salt.
Sure.
And yeah, that works.
This goes real well with salt. Salty
Yeah,
snacks.
salty snacks. Potato chips actually work with sparkling wine. So, have I convinced you yet? Those of you tuned in, so, you probably haven't. If you're tuning in for the very first time, look to the right of the video screen by his side of his head. There's a little chat box. Hit social stream, and then you just click on the icon for Twitter or for Facebook, and then you just put your Facebook login, and that way we want you to use the hashtag TV Tuesday Live, and that way it'll tweet out to all the people on the planet and the whole wide world. But did a leaf just fly in here?
It did indeed.
Okay. Yeah, so that
Little
way,
bit of moisture.
you know, and you can ask questions, and Karina will field them, and we'll answer them live. And so go ahead and put in there anything that you want. Don't be shy. A lot of you have been watching the show because I do a Google Analytics, and it tells me how many of you dive in. So you're not really hiding from me. You're just not participating. So participate. Tell us where you're from, and a question of any kind of question related to wine or wine country, or also, you know, we give great advice to guests when you're visiting the area on where to stay, and the restaurants you can go to, and the other wineries you can visit. So use us as your personal concierge, and we can do that. We're pretty good at that. Yes, and we've been all over as you have, all over the valley. Look at that thing waving in the wind. I love that.
Kicking up some wind here.
We are kicking up. It's kind of windy here. If you're going to visit the valley, this is actually a great time to visit. This weekend's going to be hot. It's going to be in the 90s. So that's going to be pretty cool. So without a doubt, I'll be gone long now. Without a doubt, come visit the valley. We've got a lot going on. The vines are in great condition.
They're
What
looking
have
real
you
healthy.
seen out there?
Well, yeah, right now they're going through veraison, which is when those little green, grapey things turn color and begin to take on the maturity that lends them. They begin to take on red grapes, start turning red. So what we're seeing now, we were just talking about it earlier. You're seeing kind of a mixture right now. So just after bud break, about 100 days later, about now, is when that happens, and that's when you first start seeing real clusters in the vineyard, and it's the first time we get a chance to see what's happening out there and how they're really beginning to turn into the stuff that we pull the juice from. So it's a good start. It started for some vineyards last week,
Yeah.
and this week it's still kind of mixed as to where it's happening.
And is it based on just the temperature of those areas where it's going quicker?
When you really translate it's temperature, but really translate it's amount of sun that that particular vine gets. That's
Okay.
where the maturity comes from. But obviously it's temperature too. If you have a lot of wind, it'll cool it down a little bit, especially if it's moist outside. So it's a matter of a combination of elements that are in that particular area. But we're soundly now into growing those grapes.
Yeah, and they look kind of cool because there's some clusters that are just kind of multi-green and red, and you
Yeah.
know they're not really all changing at the same time.
Yeah.
But it looks cool. I mean, it's neat, and you know, I still enjoy it. You know, you've been here for years, and I've seen it a lot, but it's kind of cool.
It is,
just
it
tells
is.
you that the thing keeps going.
It does.
No matter what, no matter what's going on, it just keeps going. And yeah, you don't turn it off. It's not like it's not like
Yep.
in the Midwest where you're going to till the crop under or maybe give up one year. You
And
don't do
nature's
that.
delivering it. It's great. It looks healthy. It's all on its way.
Yeah, and we got a little water here, which was kind of weird. That was a real strange. It's kind of cloudy, which we don't get kind of cloudy, but we did get a little rain. And did you say thunderstorm somewhere around the Bay Area?
Last night,
Last night.
supposedly.
Oh, I didn't hear it. But that's for those of you that are tuned in from, I guess, anywhere other than California. You don't really understand that we really don't get rain here from April to the end of October. So it's pretty weird if you got it was more of a sprinkle. but,
Yeah, yeah. A little aerosol.
Yeah, but you know, that's all going to blow out, I think, because it's supposed to get in the high 90s. It'll be rocking and rolling. So this is the place you're going to want to be.
But today it's pretty cool. It's feels very comfortable. With
Yeah, it is,
that
right?
Slight breeze.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
nice, but it is overcast. It's as you may see from the video, if we're kind of in the dark. I don't have a light out here when we do the show, but if the clouds don't open up, you know, we may have to get a light. So, did you bring a light for me to put it up here? No. Okay. All right. So when you come in, again, we got a new flight tasting, 9 wines. Nobody's got a better menu than this. You get to see from all 9 vintners. The second wine that we're going to pour is going to be the 2012 now Russian River Chardonnay from James Family Cellars. And I say now Russian River because the previous vintage, it was Sonoma Coast.
Okay.
He hasn't changed location for the vineyard, but the appellation Russian River now goes through here and through Cotati. And so where this is. So now they'll use that as in the marketing side. Don't you think it's probably a little more well known?
Yeah, I think Russian River is a great stamp on there for sure. Yeah.
But that was quite a maneuver to get that done.
Yeah.
You know, that was not. You don't just wake up one day and go, okay, I want to move the lines. And none of the wine maps that I've seen, none of them have changed it yet. But what kind of process do they have to do to get that from the AVA to change it?
Well, the American Viticultural Area, it's an application process. It takes quite a long time. They have to validate it locally. It has to, especially for a new AVA, they have to come up with a historic name for it that all people can agree to. I know sometimes there seems to be a commercial reason for having an AVA. A couple wineries get together. For the most part, they try and avoid that by having open period of time, something like 6 months, for instance, where you can actually reach out to the government and say, we don't want this to happen. They begin to have conversations about it. To move a line like that, they actually have to go to those who are part of setting up the other AVA where they're stealing from and get them to agree. Now, this is interesting because this is nested kind of a little bit because it still says Sonoma Coast on there, correct?
Oh no, on the bottle now it says Russian River.
What's below that?
Sonoma County.
Oh, Sonoma County. Okay.
Well, no, I take that back. Wait, what's it say? Sonoma
Sonoma
County.
County. So all bottles right now in Sonoma County, they've agreed and kind of pushed for having Sonoma County on it. And then you can go ahead and put above that or anywhere near that the actual location too. So that conjoint labeling that happens is really helping overall. If the quality of the lines overall in Sonoma County are drawing people in, it's easy to see all of those various AVAs in that umbrella, and that helps the overall marketing of the brand out there in the world, especially outside of California.
Was there much opposition from the Sonoma Coast folks who may have been very passionate about keeping keeping that name that they've made lots of wine under?
There wasn't much, which is interesting. In a sense, those who were part of that piece of property that would go over to Russian River felt like they were getting an upgrade. In fact, Russian River is pretty well known. It's climbed in some of the research they've recently done. Sonoma Coast has really climbed fast too, but Russian River seems to be the bigger one, the more familiar one, and so they all wanted to jump onto that particular bandwagon. So I think it was one of those, we're departing from here to go over here, it's okay because we feel like we're getting more notoriety in association with Russian River.
Does it lend itself to other parts just south or just west of that to say, wait a minute, we're kind of like that too? The soil's really similar, and I mean,
yeah, it's
or is there a point at which the government's just going to go, or the governing body says, enough, stop, we've done the studies, let's move on?
Yeah, the TTB, what they do is they have a case made for this being a unique climate condition. All the circumstances within that particular growing area are unique to the one next to it. So at some point when they draw that line and make that move saying, we just discovered this also belongs over here versus there, they had a reason for putting the line where they did. Now somebody's come back and say, oh, well, we didn't mean there, we meant here, and here's why, we just discovered this belongs here too. That's not really a credible argument. At some point it doesn't become credible that this are all the same climate up here. So they're looking for the climate, they're not looking for really the politics of it all. They're just looking at the climate.
Okay, don't steal till they stole on one. Well, and are they going out with survey crews and all that to make a line to, you know?
They leave that.
I just draw it on a map, but you know.
Well, they leave that up to the people who make the application to actually go and define what those boundaries are. And sometimes let's go down the road until you see a white house on the left. Now, if the guy paints his house, we're going to have to believe that was probably the house. But that's what happens. I know Chalk Hill is an AVA nearby here as well. And if you look at Chalk Hill AVA, there's a little finger. It's a nice solid AVA, but a little finger comes out, crosses over 101, and captures another piece of property over here. And that had to be a tough circumstance, probably some politics involved, I'm going to guess, in that. But nonetheless, they made an appeal to join one little piece over here with the rest of the main part of Chalk Hill. Usually that doesn't happen. Usually you can't make that circumstance stick. So
yeah. And some of those areas are a little tough to get to. You got a question? Go ahead.
Dan would like to know, with the expansion of the Russian River, will we see huge price increases?
Oh, so with the expansion, would you see price increases? What's your take on that? I have a thought on it.
My thought is, now there's more wine coming from Russian River, and those who maybe have just joined the Russian River might want to try and add some pricing increases there. But overall, I don't think that's going to happen.
No, I don't. I agree. I really don't see. I think it's a marketing perspective. I think that if you're outside of California and a very small producer and you're really trying to get your wine distributed, it's going to come off the shelf a little easier at Russian River than it is in Sonoma Coast, just because most people don't know what Sonoma Coast really is. What was your other question? Go ahead.
This was coming from Brad, and he said while he was in Oregon, he saw a white Pinot Noir, but he didn't taste it. I asked him if it was mislabeled, and he said no.
He said he saw a white Pinot Noir. You want to help me with that?
Sure. A lot of times a winery
From Oregon.
Well, yeah, from Oregon. Obviously, Pinot. We've talked about this before. Pinot seems to want to become other things, and so we're not talking about the Pinot Blanc, which is white Pinot, versus Pinot Noir, which is black or dark or red Pinot. We're not talking about that differentiation because there are grapes like Pinot Blanc over here. But if it's a white Pinot Noir and it says white Pinot Noir on it and uses those words on the label, then what they're doing is they're pulling the skins away. And quite honestly, they're probably sweetening it up a little bit too. So they're trying to create, just like a white Zinfandel, that sounds like that's going to go in that direction of a white Zinfandel.
But how do you not get color in there? I mean, you got to really. I mean, you can't have hardly any contact at all if you're gonna have it.
I'm gonna guess.
Let me throw the question back to Brad. Did you notice? Did you actually see it in the glass or in the bottle?
He said it wasn't a rosé.
Was it clear?
He said it wasn't a rosé.
It was not a rosé. Okay, but I'm just saying. For example, this sparkling has 25% Pinot in it, but it looks pretty clear.
Yeah, so that's an example of how you can pull the skins away quickly. You can also then, having done that, I mean, literally, you just get that in there, and they have a process. We talked about it when we introduced the wines from Super Sonoma. He's very much into something that he puts a low temperature on the fruit as it sits in suspension, and what that does is it keeps it from changing in ways that fermentation causes to happen, and part of that is all that extraction and maceration that takes place. So if you saw a truly white, no rosé, it either had to come off the skins right away if it was truly Pinot Noir. It was a description on the back saying this is kind of like a white Pinot Noir, then I could say, all right, on the front of it, it might say something else.
Well, what are the rules? I know in California, I mean, it's got to be 75% of that varietal, but are they similar up there in Oregon?
Yeah, they are. Washington's a little stricter on theirs, but in Oregon, the other 25%, you wouldn't put a red wine in there. You put a white wine in there. So, suddenly you've taken another opportunity to have color in the wine away.
Oh.
So
I didn't think of it that way.
So if you have 24.999% of white wine in there, which you don't have to identify that is in there, which by the way could be Pinot Blanc, which
wouldn't be unheard of for that area.
No, Pinot Blanc's a great grape.
No, but I mean you see it there.
Yeah. So
he could have that in the cellar and throw in maybe 20%, right? And the other.
And leave the skins off as much as possible. You would totally extract the color out of that. You'd end up with color.
But man, you are pulling that like quickly.
Yeah.
Because that's going to give color right away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wow, interesting. Well, that's.
We'll have to explore that.
Why didn't you buy it, Brad? That could have answered a whole bunch of questions if you'd have bought the damn thing. Then you would have drank it and we would have known a lot more about it. I think you just need to do more homework next time. Buy the wine. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Do you remember the name of the winery? Not that I would know, but the next time my wife goes up to Oregon, see, I can have her stop and go check it out. And I'll let her buy the wine, okay? Thanks, Brad. Good job. So Chardonnay from James Family Cellars, about 25% was brand new French oak. The rest, neutral barrels. It's got some citrus to it though. It really does.
Yeah.
It's not on the oaky buttery edge. It's kind of almost in between there a little bit.
It's a really refreshing beverage. Sometimes Chardonnay can be Chardonnay and have a little more thickness to it. This is really expressing itself well as a summertime Chardonnay that's light enough to be refreshing.
Yeah, no, like that a lot. Retail on that is $30, $25.50 for the Cellar Club. For Russian River fruit, yeah, we're way okay with that.
Yep.
Way okay. Good job on that. That's our second vintage we've had of this wine. Did you have a question there, sis?
Brad said it was Fox Farms.
Fox Farms. Okay, so maybe we'll remember to do a little. I'll do a little homework and see what I can find about the Fox Farm with their white Pinot.
Being foxy with the.
Did they call it white Pinot or did they just call? I guess they called it white Pinot. That's weird. Well, that's weird, but I will.
It said white.
Stay tuned. Not like much because you took the damn skins away. Holy Toledo,
white
you gotta
Pinot
have
Noir,
something.
right? Because if it's white Pinot, that would be Pinot Blanc. So it's probably if he says white Pinot Noir, then.
Now this is Pinot Noir. Whoa!
Watch out now.
That just got me like right in my face. Holy
You
Toledo!
got your safety glasses.
I got
on.
my
You're good to
safety
go.
glasses. I'm not going to get burned from this wine. But you're all blurry now. Wow, interesting. This is Pinot Noir, and this is Deering's 2013 Rosé of Pinot. And this comes from the Rocchioli vineyard, which isn't a bad spot on the planet. 2013, another fabulous vintage year. But this is true Rosé, basically letting it hit the skins enough to get some color and then get that off of there.
Yes.
It's pretty damn quick. And he took some of this fruit and put it into neutral barrels just for a short period of time, and then ultimately put it back into the stainless steel for the rest of the aging, which I thought that was interesting. But it seemed to me that what it did is it gave you this roundness because of the barrel content.
Right. Yeah. When you do that with oak, it'll smooth out. It'll take that striking charge of acid and back it off a bit. And I think that's labor intensive. So I appreciate the fact that somebody actually stopped and said, the artistry in me, the ultimate result I want in my wine. I'm going to do a little extra work, spend a little extra time with it, and that's great.
Yeah, and it's got a nice mouthfeel. Again, rosés are super versatile. I mean, man, you can pair this up with all kinds of food. Thai food, spicy foods, manchego, because I love manchego. You can do a lot with this. I mean, if you're going to go over to Sushi to Die For and hit the sushi trail, you're all over that.
Yep, absolutely.
Right? I
Nice,
mean, that'll
nice.
hold out nice. In a normal hot summer day, which I don't know if this qualifies quite for summer, it's almost.
This
This is.
raindrops. That's, yes.
Did you just now?
About 10 minutes ago.
Oh, okay. I mean, that could be interesting. Never done the show in the rain.
Just have to bring it under the tent.
Well, or just brave it out.
Brave it out.
We just brave it out. They play baseball in the rain. Why can't we? And speaking of baseball, let me just check the score on the Giants game. Are we tied? Is it 3-3? I can't tell. Even with a big screen TV, I can't see it. Rosé made from Pinot Noir, beautiful, beautiful
It is.
wine.
Great
Great
color.
value too. $22 retail, $18.70. Can't go wrong with it. You really can't.
No, it's nice. It's a great color. It just everything about it is pretty.
I could have a spicy salmon with that all night long. Don't you think?
Well, it's a salmon. It's looking for salmon. That's
Yeah.
a salmon color.
It's a salmon color. I have a shirt like this that I call salmon instead of pink, but it's kind of like it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And he did a nice job on it. You don't see him quite with that fullness in the mouthfeel. Most time they're a little leaner than that.
So what's the production on some of these wines we're talking about?
Well, what's interesting is this wine he made last year, the 2012, he made 1 barrel. That's 23 and a half cases. Hell, Brad, you go through more than that in a couple of months. So he did, I think he bumped it up to 2 barrels, I think, on this wine. So, oh no, I got the wrong winery. The problem with having too many kids or too many wineries is you start to meld them all together, and you got to keep your head in gear. I got the wrong winery. I was talking about James.
Oh, okay.
This is the Deering. This I think he made. I don't know. I want to
we'll
say
figure
he
it out.
probably made 200 cases, maybe something like that. Not a huge amount.
Well, you think about it. 200 cases in the scheme of the wine world. When you go to your local supermarket, 200 cases is like
Is
nothing.
next week.
Nothing. Yeah. So we're talking about something down the street here. You'll find a winery that turns that out in a one quick run through the system. So these are all small production, whether 200 cases or 200 cases or 2 barrels or 1 barrel. It's just all
Yeah.
small.
We're
artisan
talking
production.
4 pallets of wine, man. It is not a lot of wine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just not. So I don't. Not a lot. It's not a huge production. Not by any stretch. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah. Oh, we're doing a live broadcast. You're now live all over the world right now. Where are you guys from?
Hi, we're from New Jersey.
Why?
Well, we're still working on that.
What?
Why?
Are you under arrest or you're on how?
I'm out on house arrest.
Yeah.
I cut off my ankle bracelet and
And
I
you escaped.
Yeah. So, oops, I'm on TV.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Hope
It's
you
always a
don't
danger
face
when
us.
you do this.
Where
It is,
in
isn't it?
New
No, it
Jersey
really
are
is.
you?
We live in Menda, which is near Morristown.
Which I have
Central
no
Park.
idea. You could have said.
Jersey.
You could have said.
New Jersey.
Wait, you
Really?
live in Sebastopol. You
No.
live locally.
Oh,
You're local.
really?
New York.
Oh, that's that New York
Yeah,
thing.
you
Wow.
are.
Well,
Nice.
welcome
What's happening?
to California. This is TV Tuesday Live, our live show that we do here every Tuesday
today's
at 6.
Tuesday.
Today's
Okay.
Tuesday.
Right.
It's live and it's streaming live video right up to our website, and people are tuned in from all over the world. Just say hello. If you have friends and
Hello.
neighbors, you can watch this show.
Probably not as many friends now that I've
friends
been
in
on
New
this.
Jersey.
If you have any of your criminal friends, just have them go to the
Absolute
website.
Women's prison. Okay.
So we have to spend 4.5 hours
Left.
at Paradise
Okay.
Ridge, and now we're off to dinner. So
Where are you going to go to dinner?
I think we're
That's the street.
Jack and Tony's.
Jack and Tony's. Yeah.
What do
I
you
think
think?
you'll. Oh
Good
yeah,
choice?
I have the menu in there if you want to see it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's quite good.
That's good.
Yeah, then they'll throw you out, and then when they throw you out, come back over
We get
here.
thrown out of the
and we're
winery
over till.
after they close and said you have to
Yeah,
leave.
oh yeah,
Twice.
yeah,
So
yeah. There is a limit. There is a limit.
There's a public service announcement
I'm
today.
sorry to crash your photobomb your webcast. Or
Don't
whatever,
worry
but
about it.
thank you.
You've done well.
It's terrific.
Have too much fun.
We'll be back later.
All right.
Hopefully you'll be gone
We'll
so
be-
we don't embarrass you.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, thanks. Good
Take
night.
care. We get people from everywhere. New Jersey on the lamb, running on the lamb, getting away from the man.
And even now, he's recommending places for people to be.
Right?
Yep.
Jack and Tony's, that's going to be a great meal. And he just changed his menu. He added a bunch of stuff and it's really cool. I need to go over there and spend some more of my money with him.
Maybe you should bring him on the show one of these days again.
If I can get him. The problem is he does the chefing on Tuesdays, so
Oh.
it's a tougher spin. All right, then you go up the menu. Now you're going from light wines to heavy, so now we're starting to get into the real reds. This is T.R. Elliott's 2012 Quest. This is a blend of two single vineyards, a total of 17 barrels, and in the wine world, baby, that is not a lot of wine. That is not a lot of wine.
In there.
But what a nose. Holy
Oh, it's nice. It's nice. Really
smokes.
expressive.
He's got in the notes here raspberry, all the dark fruits, hint of white pepper, no doubt about it. Let's see what else he's, garnet color, no doubt. Brown sugar and some molasses. Brown
Yeah,
sugar.
we're definitely heading into the kitchen in this one. It's,
Yeah.
Somebody's cooking up something good, and that's some of what this
Oh, yeah.
brings out.
Well, and Pinot's one of those versatile wines too. It'll go with your meats. It'll go with your lambs. If you get a bottle from here and go over to Jack and Tony's, have them do their lamb shank. He does a really good lamb shank. That would rock with that.
Yeah.
That's. Now Ted makes basically 3 Pinots. 2 have been single vineyards, and then this being the Questy is the blend of the 2 single vineyards, and then a Chardonnay. And I have to say that I'm the one who got him to get in the direction of Chardonnay as another wine, and I'm happy to say that he's come up with 2 vintages so far on the Chardonnay.
Well, his
Damn nice
career,
wine.
in his career, he's made a lot of great Chardonnay. It's just he for himself hadn't done that yet, right? Is that?
Yeah, he was in the 70s one of the beginning folks with Sonoma Cutrer, and that's some pretty good juice there.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not talking about some Mickey
Fine
Mouse.
Chardonnay for sure.
That's fine Chardonnay. So wonderful Russian River Pinot, again 2012. Everything we've seen, right? Have you seen any bad? I haven't seen any bad 12s.
No.
I mean, across the board too, and I'm not talking about all your high-end stuff. I'm talking even in the value brand stuff. I'm getting bright fruit, and it's really nice. I mean, clean. What a vintage that was!
Yes.
Holy crap!
And again, we were picking up the nose too. It's really definitely there. Definitely there.
Oh, $44 retail on this, $37.40 if you're a Cellar Club member. Those of you that are not a Cellar Club member, let me just give you the lowdown. This is a way you get to experience all 9 of our vintners through our wine club shipments. We send you 4 bottles 4 times a year. You get 4 different wineries typically in the shipment, up to 15% off on your wines, 20 when you reorder the wines that are in the shipment. So they're kind of samples for you. But really it's about access. I mean, he made 17 barrels. I'm out of his other Pinot again.
Yeah.
I mean, I keep blowing his Pinots out. You guys really need to understand that, because you can't go anywhere in the United States and find these wines. They're just not going to be out there. They're not. They don't make enough. They really don't. And a lot of it we get allocated to us, and then that's it. It's here and nowhere. So it's either going to be at your house or I'll drink it. But nothing wrong with that.
This is amazing.
It is really pretty. 2012, lots of ageability on the wine, which I like. I can put a Pinot down. This Pinot you could probably put down for another 6-7 years. I wouldn't have a problem with that. I think you could get away with it.
Oh yeah.
It's big, rich.
But
It's
Pinots typically don't have a lot of tannin.
yeah,
There's a real nice backbone of tannin here too. So this is going to last for a while.
yeah. Yeah, so don't be afraid to buy big on it, stash some, and pull it out with your best friends.
Yeah.
Or if you don't
Or
have
for
any
yourself.
friends, yeah, then for yourself, and drink it. And somebody came in the other day and said, how long can you leave these wines open? And I have the same answer, just get some more friends. You open a bottle of wine, it's starting to oxidize. There's no way of getting around it. You can put, they're carrying them out in bags. I like that. They walk out with bags, we're happy with them. It's oxidizing. As soon as it starts, there's no stopping. So the bottom line is, you gotta get with the program. Forget all the gizmos. It's gonna help a little bit. It's not gonna end that. And then that weird thing with the needle. Yeah, stay away from that. That's a weird one. These bottles are breaking. I can't believe it.
Yeah, they're putting pressure in the bottles. Some of the bottles are breaking.
They must be some crappy bottles.
Well,
I mean,
that's what they said.
I mean, you
Warning.
couldn't break that sparkling one,
Yeah,
not
right,
at all.
right, yeah.
I could put that in there all day long. That's I don't hear about that thing much anymore. It got a lot of press. Neat concept.
Great concept. Yeah.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure if I
They
was.
recalled all their things.
Yeah. So coming up this weekend, we've got Ricky Allen Ray in the house on Thursday, and then we've got our buddy John Pita, the Reverend John Pita, and then Falcon Christopher's back. I haven't had Falcon in for a couple of weeks. Falcon is back in the house with his son who plays bass, who's what is he, 10, 12? Does anybody know? No. He's not a lot. Whatever that, it's a real small number. Yeah, he could be in single digits. It's pretty amazing. And I just so the FYI, coming up Friday, August 7th, the first Friday of that. What look on the calendar? Friday, August. I want to say that it's August 7th. Anna Troy is back in town from New York City. She is coming through from New York City. If you guys remember, she was here New Year's Eve and rocked the house. It was absolutely off the Richter scale, man. This girl was the real stuff. I'm telling you, that was a great show. And she's here for one shot on the 8th, is it? August 8th? Friday, August 8th. Do not miss Anna Troy, man. You are not going to believe it. She is the real stuff. And then in September, I've got a couple of new acts coming. We'll announce those. I had a guy come in and fill in, and he was doing Cat Steven and stuff. Were you here when that guy was playing?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
He did a great job.
Corona's the last name. Craig Corona. Was he good? Wasn't he good? I mean, I was really shocked because I saw his stuff online. I get. You guys have to understand. I get probably at least 2 or 3 emails a day